And there it is. The red light is on, and it's almost as red as this Santa Claus hat that I have on my head because I am still festive. I am still locked and loaded into the holiday seasons because Christmas is just around the corner. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? This is officially the last Wrestling Rum Now podcast show of 2025. Ladies and gentlemen, we've made it. We've gone through. We've done a lot, and thank you. I appreciate the opinion. Thank you. We have done a lot this year. We have grown so much as a brand and as a show. But like I said,
Mm-hmm.
is literally going to be the last episode of the year before we turn the clock until 2025. And how fitting of a way for us to end the year was a little bit of controversy because it is official, ladies and gentlemen. John Cena has officially retired from in-ring competition. And let's just say his retirement match, it kind of set the wrestling world ablaze. Many people had things to say. There was a lot of opinions, a lot of feelings hurt, a lot of rants, a lot of rage. And guess what? We are no different because boys, the wrestling realm are here to discuss everything about John Cena's retirement match and answer the new $1 million question is, did WWE get it right? Did they get John Cena's retirement match right? We're going to discuss all that and more. Not to mention, it's official now. Of course, Austin Theory is the guy under the mask, as if we didn't know that. Not to mention, there's a few more announcements before we get into 2025. So, for the last time this year, ladies and gentlemen, grab your seatbelt, your popcorn, your juice, whatever you need, bug your seatbelts. Let's get it.
Houston, we have a problem.
What you gonna do? 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 What you gonna do?
For the last time in 2025. Welcome to the Wrestling Rum Now podcast, where we take a deeper dive into the world of professional wrestling. Now, I'm your host, the realness, the real Dwayne Allen, eyes in the building, and he is your host, Mr. Super Producer, Ace A to the S, T to the H to the E, 3 to the R to the D. Brother Hugh is back in the building today, and he is your host. A little under the weather, but he's still not just any guy, but the Belt King, Brandon the Guy, who is not in the building today, but we'll bring him up later. And he is your host, the man, the myth, the legend, the heart and soul, the founder of the Wrestling Realm, and all the way through 25, and I'm almost sure all the way through 2026, he is still the biggest heel in his sector. Ladies and gentlemen, I bring to you Mr.
Hollywood!
Brian H. Waters, who is in the building. Brothers, here we are. We made it. We have made it through 2025. This is the last show of the year. And fellas, I plan to go out with a bang. And we got to thank John Cena and WWE and you guys' favorite booker, Triple H, for giving us such a hot topic to have a conversation as we close out the final episode of the Wrestling Realm Now podcast for 2025. How's everybody feeling, brothers? We made it. We've done a lot this year. We've tinkered with some things. We tried some things out. We've added some stuff. We take some things away. How are we feeling about this, man? This is the last one. We made it through 2025, another year. Going into what, 4 or 5 years in already?
Yeah, good Lord.
Yeah.
I'm feeling great though. I'm looking good, so if I look good, 9 times out of 10 I'm gonna feel good. You feel
That's what
me?
they tell you. You look good. You play good.
You didn't
Absolutely.
even like Dion. We all knew Michael Irvin was your favorite cowboy.
Shh,
back
don't
in
do
the
that.
day.
Don't do that.
Wow.
Don't disrespect. No, dog.
Now he's putting your
Don't
business
try
on the
that.
streets.
Right.
I tell you this.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad this year's over. It was a whole year where my tribal chief wasn't even a champion. That's
Oh
why
boy.
this year absolutely sucked.
You ain't lying.
It's coming. It's definitely coming.
So
Oh boy.
it's time to move forward. We lost Hulk Hogan. We lost John Cena. 2 different ways.
Yeah. Don't forget, in honor of your T-shirt, who we lost.
Your soul is mine.
See,
Yeah.
it's a lot going on, but I know
sir.
you guys. I know you guys are prepared for a big 2026 years, especially with the rumors about your boy. I won't jump the gun.
The moment he wins, everybody gonna be happy because that's gonna be like the slowest build of all builds.
I think it's got a Diamond Dallas Page running him. Okay.
But DDP, but DDP went to certain markets. Ain't nobody know who he was.
I mean, well,
That
let's
is true.
It was going to be that way. It was nothing he could do about any of that. But
That's just
nonetheless, I mean, what was he going to do? He was only going to be over with the wrestling audience. That's who made him. That's who made him a star. And I feel the same way about cats like LA Knight. Well,
he did.
He ain't lying.
I mean, everybody loved this. So Kimberly Page.
no, yeah, she was it though. But like I
I
said,
ain't got to
At
stop.
that time, yeah, she definitely was it. I ain't gonna hold you.
she was yes indeed. There's a lot going on, and like I said, before we kind of get into the heart and soul of the show, because man, isn't this is going to be one of those shows, and how fitting it only fits us right that this is how we actually end. There's a couple of things we got to get into. It's a couple of logistics that we got to tap into before we end 2025. So with that being said, a couple of announcements. So in order to close out this year on a high note, there's a couple of things that's going on. For instance, your boy The Realness will be appearing on episode 131 of the In or Out Sports Debate with my good buddy
Sir. Yes, sir.
D Willie, Drew Willingham. I mean, this has got to be my 3rd or 4th time on the show, and I can't wait to be a part of this. This is one of the shows that I have the most fun on. So I'm looking forward to closing out the year on December 21st with my boy D Willie, Drew Willingham, and the In or Out Sports Debate Show, episode 131, which will be live. So I have a busy Sunday, but like I said, I'm looking forward to it. I haven't had a chance to really talk to my good brother in a good while, but it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm looking forward to it. But yeah, man, that's I think that literally might be the last thing I'll be doing as far as 2025. But yeah, you guys got anything planned? How you guys closing the year out?
We'll see if some breaking news happens. You might get a episode 310 of Break It Down with Brian H. So I don't want to fully commit to say that show has been put to bed for the rest of the year because something may happen. I may just decide to fire up the mic. But other than that, man, I'm looking to chill. I bought myself some video games for Christmas. Because, sometimes you got to buy yourself gifts, too. You buy everybody else gifts.
What? You kidding me?
But you got to have self-love, So, Christmas Day, I know I'm going to be playing some games. My kids going to be chilling. They're going to be straight. So,
Hold on. What games, though? Like,
Did you say self-love?
he definitely did. It's crazy. Crazy.
Okay, I'm done. I'm not gonna trust me. There will be some cutting up going on in the show, but I'm not
Crazy.
I'm not gonna start that early.
No, that was hilarious. Oh man, what did I get? Yeah, I guess so obviously the Mortal Kombat Legacy Edition, Legacy Collection. But I kind of been playing that, and every now and again, now I just fired up when I'm just ready to fight. But one of Brother Hugh's favorites, Mortal Kombat Shaolin Monks, never had that game before.
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh no, that joint was fire with Kung
That
Lao
joint
with
was
Liu
fire.
Kang.
Yes, sir.
That was really that was an underrated one for me.
Yeah.
I learned that, when I was doing a Mortal Kombat deep dive about 2 months ago, and I saw on YouTube the people were saying they was ranking all the Mortal Kombats, right? And to me, it looked like this made up where Sub-Zero mythologies didn't and Special Forces didn't, where they felt they finally got it right with this one. So I'm excited to jump into that.
Yeah, I think you had fun with that one.
And then there's this game, The Getaway. A good friend of mine, Marcus, who was my former highlight producer at ESPN, he had posted this I don't want to say that, sorry. But he posted this long Facebook status about how he enjoyed that more than Grand Theft Auto. And Marcus think of Justin, right?
Okay.
As far as a person who's like loves tech or anything, but when they love it, they can express, like, give you all the reasons why. So he writes this status about 2 months ago. I was like, okay, I'm gonna try to find that game, add it to the retro collection. And so I went to the store, Retro Replay, and I saw it. I said, oh, this is the game Marcus was talking about. You know what? I'm gonna get it. And so I was like, you know what, this is a Christmas gift. So I told her, I said, hey, bro, you know, because like Marcus is another one. He's an Android guy, and he would give you all the reasons why.
Gosh.
Yeah, and I was like, you know, bro, I said, I noticed like when you talk about something, you're passionate about it. So it made me go find this, you know, and it was like $10. I was like, okay, you know, I'm excited to dive into that on Christmas Day.
Okay.
Because we ain't never getting Grand Theft Auto 6. That was supposed to come out this year. We're supposed to be playing it. It's supposed to be
back next year.
Yeah. Supposed to be on
next
sale
year,
this
like
week.
November or something?
Yeah.
Next November. They said. That's what they shared.
That's crazy.
What about you, brother? Here, you got anything in the bag?
Man, I'm chilling. I got some projects that I'm gonna be working on over the holiday, and so I'm gonna try to do that. Do a lot of studying and playing with my new toy. That's it.
Nah, that sounds like a plan. Of course, they can't look at this. He can't never be professional.
He
bro.
always trying to be.
He can't
like,
never be professional. Like, he
Man,
just
say
love
that.
it, bro.
You ready two-step.
You sniggle like a little girl.
Whoa.
All right,
See,
whatever.
I thought we learned that saying stuff like little girls isn't always the best thing, you know. You just
Hey,
say
man.
it, just sniggle, you know. It don't have to be a denigrating statement.
spell denigrating.
Then, no, great.
Oh, jeez. Well, with that being said, brothers, there's one more announcement that has to be made. It's not.
That's
really
where
an
I went.
announcement.
Retro. That's prototype. That's exactly
That's
where I
why
You
went.
went to Bel Air? Yeah.
Yeah, and my daughter loves that store. She said, "We going again, Daddy?" I'm like, "Yeah." So I actually told my son, I said, "You know, I'm gonna take you this break because he's never been up there because we would go while he was still in school. She got out earlier, but I
You
will
would take that
say,
drive over to Bel Air, like in the middle of the week.
yeah, three times I've been there. It's always,
Okay.
you know, because
All right.
that's when I got Royal Rumble for
was
Dreamcast.
in traffic.
Okay.
We ain't gonna talk about that coming back, you know.
Okay.
But they do have a crumble cookie. Crumble cookies. Shout out to Bobby Lashley, his favorite type. You know, but they had a crumble cookie out there, so you know it's always a trip. You go there. My daughter was like, "Dad, you know I would live out here." You know. But so far,
I'm thinking about these decisions right now.
Right.
because there's a crumble cookie,
Oh,
the
okay.
retro replay, Ross, and Raising Cane's.
No,
All
it's-
in the same vicinity.
it's that area.
Straight up Bel Air Road or?
Man, I type it in and I let the
Oh,
drive
all right,
take
bet.
me.
All right,
You,
bet.
you can
I'll
you
figure it
can
out.
you can, brother Hugh. It could take the
It's
back
off
way.
Baltimore something, Baltimore Road or something like that.
My
I got,
nephew's.
I got a nice seafood spot out there. Sell some bombing. Was it shrimp salad sandwiches? Crazy, bro.
Oh, so wait a
Crazy.
minute.
Crazy.
Yeah, my
Yes,
nephews
sir.
live out there, so I'm quite familiar with that space out there. And I
Wait,
know
you ain't
folks
been? So you never been to Retro Replay though?
No, I've never been there. Like, cause that's a trip I got to make on my own. When I'm usually
Yeah.
Mama with me, she's ready to go. She's ready to go.
Man, you gotta say, look, man, all the times I gotta take you in here to show you the games that you didn't get me that I asked for. Yeah, Baltimore Pike, that's the one. Because
You trying,
Yeah.
they
you trying to
they
get
had-
this man smacked.
they got like three. No,
She
just
would
say
be-
just say I said it. You know, it'll
My
sound
mother,
better.
my mother would take offense to it because she's like, no, it didn't. Wait a minute now. I remember because and I'm like, because her shopping is like something she really enjoyed, especially for us as kids. And she's like, no, yes, you
Yeah.
did. I remember because I stood outside on. I'm like, oh shoot. I will
Right.
pay my hand, but
They got like 3 or 4 copies of WCW versus the NWO World Tour now. They're gonna have probably one copy of No Mercy, but they got all that, all of that, man.
I need
Bet
to
you they got like 40 copies of Thunder.
yeah.
Probably.
Nobody wants to.
ECW games, you know, it was so bad. I was watching this video. I know we gotta get on the show, but y'all know how we do when we get in these retro gaming conversations. I was watching a video. It was like how ECW, as good as the shows was, you know how niche, right? they sucked at video games. They put
Yes.
they put matches on there that never existed, like with Hardcore Revolution and Anarchy Rules. But the problem is, both of those games, well, Anarchy Rules is still up there. Like you can't, I don't think you can get that for less than $30 because of the last ECW game. You know, now they did have TNA Impact, but I refused to buy the PS2 version because I had the PS3 version. I think I bought that from Walmart for like $20 when it was on sale, and I probably only played it like a handful of times. But now I like want it. You know, I really got it. So I'm on the search for that. But it's always good going in there. But I'm telling y'all, if you ever go to Charlotte, I forgot the name of the store, but just type in retro video game store. It's right outside of Charlotte. That's the store I sent y'all. That was really big, and it's got Funko Pops.
Okay, yeah.
Funko Pops on one side, all the video games on the other. You know, and so me and Queen PR was down there, and she, you know, she picked up some Funko Pops. I picked up, you know, I picked up some games. So I'm trying to tell y'all, it's definitely worth the trip.
All right. See, that's the stuff that keeps this all fun, right? Being because we, you know, all the stores we've had up in here, they kind of come and they go. It's like you got to catch them while you can catch the wave, because you know, back in the day, Funko Land was like a thing. It was like
Funko Land,
but y'all remember how we found out about it? It was in the news circular.
It definitely was.
And you know, the parents was in, because they would get that Sunday paper. You see the man walking
black and
down
white.
the street. He was holding paper, and
Papers
he had
for
the
$1,
bean
bro.
pies. Papers for $1. You always got one on the way to church,
especially on Sunday. Yep.
Man, you love my church on North Avenue, so you already know how that was.
Oh yeah, you probably ran to a bean pie newspaper guy every other block.
Exactly.
Right. Facts.
And I'll never forget, bro, because on there it said, it had a big old thing that said 1 cent video games.
Yeah,
and I was
it
like,
bluffing.
wait, what?
Yep.
Yeah, but they definitely was.
With the price
I'm
list
like,
on there.
Ma, can we go? And it was like one of them holidays. I want to say it was like the last week before Christmas break, and she said, we're gonna go on the weekend. Man, hold up. They had a Funko Land in Mondawmin.
I didn't know that.
I never
They did the one on York Road.
That's why I found one on York Road. Yep.
That's okay. So that must have been.
And then it was one in
at that
Golden
time I
Ring
wasn't.
too.
Yeah, I knew we went to one of them, and I remember that's when I got Triple Play 97 from there. But I remember, Triple Play 97 for PlayStation, and man, I played that. But that was the best part because you had so many games, and you see now GameStop is like they're late to the party, but now they're trying to get back into the retro game. They trying to get into the retro
because it's hot.
It's hot, but the thing is like nobody trusts them because it's like y'all already done got us. When we traded these games in years ago, giving us a little bit. So that's why it's this revolt. And you know, I don't want to speak bad at GameStop because I know people need jobs and stuff. But it's like, bro, nobody. That's what they're really relying on, the trading cards game nowadays. It's more game trading cards and collectible stuff than it is like video games.
Yeah, I mean, I guess in this economy, and that's the way things are, you got to branch out. You can't just do just one thing.
True.
But you know that it makes sense at the end of the day. When I first discovered Funko Land, it was like discovering a mythical place. My brother went tutoring at that one place in New York and on York Road in that shopping center.
Yeah.
And we pulled up, and I was like, Funko Land? It does exist. Like I was like, because mind you, I like don't live. You know, that's really my backyard. Like I used to go to that Domino's Pizza all the time. Like my dad, we stayed in that space because the Discovery Zone was right there at one point where the Party City is. So it's not like we haven't been in that. That's like our neck of the woods, and never noticed it was over there until like maybe 2000 or 2001. Like I said, my brother was going for tutoring in that little tutoring place in that shopping center, and I would just go in every day. And I would, you know, they had like the stack of Funko Land newspapers, and I would grab the same paper almost every time I go in there, like anything changed. Yep. And I would come to school looking at it. And of course, they always had this crazy price guide of like, oh, you get this for 99 cents, get this for $3.99. And like, no, you can't. And then when you sit there and you look at the prices in the little storefront, then all of a sudden it's a different conversation. But you know, in my goofy little kid brain, even though I was like 13, you know, I was about to give Christmas presents for all my boys because that was our Game Boy Color year. Everybody was rocking Game Boy Color.
Yeah.
Like I never had a Game Boy Color.
Yeah, I mean that was the it thing at the time. Like at least for my group, you know, everybody got your class kind of set the tone. Terry Funk just fell.
What color console did you have?
I had a teal. I had teal.
Okay,
that was my color. I was like, okay, I need one that fits Little Realness, and I'm like, that's the one. So so I had the teal. Everything
And
was
you,
teal.
and you wonder why your nephew think your middle name is the.
Oh my gosh, he
That's
really
crazy.
called. I'm telling you, he called me and said, "Is your middle name the?" Called me on the way to school. Like that's what you called me for. No, I'm just saying though, because he's so freaking intelligent. He's so intelligent for his own good. And it's like you
That's
really
true.
put this together in your head just through like in his pure intellect. But yeah, for little the realness. And I was like, yep. So I had all my accessories teal, everything teal. Only thing that wasn't teal was my bags. But the games, I had Game Boy as a kid. My brother had it. So of course when he stopped dealing with it, it was a hand me down.
Yeah.
So
Well, I
did you
didn't
know
know about Funko Land.
see? So when I first discovered it, it was just like it was just like a blockbuster for video games. You go in there and just
Yeah.
look around and look at everything and just I'm gonna get that. I'm gonna come back and get this. I'm gonna come back and get that. And especially knowing that hey, you can play regular Game Boy games on Game Boy Color. So I was like, well, I'm gonna go back and
Yep.
get the old ones that living in
Did
your
y'all
own.
have the Super Game Boy? Well,
I
if
did.
anybody who was Super Nintendo fans, did y'all
Nah,
have
I
the Super
didn't.
Game Boy? Because
Definitely had.
I was almost about to get it, but my mother instead bought me so I had Mortal Kombat first on Game Boy. And for my birthday, it was either to get the Super Game Boy so I could play it on Super Nintendo, but she went all in and she was like, I'm gonna just give you the real one, and
Yep.
I was able to have 7 characters instead of 6.
Yeah.
I forgot which one, and I only remember that from playing the Legacy Collection because they have all the versions like the Genesis, the Super Nintendo, the Game Gear,
Oh,
all
okay.
that on the Legacy Collection. Man, Legacy Collection lit. I ain't gonna lie.
No, that's tough.
It's
I didn't
just
know all that.
Fired up. If you want to fight now, that's when you also learn Mortal Kombat 2 is the hardest. And the
That's my
arcade is
favorite one,
programmed. It's yeah, but and it's programmed a certain way
Mm-hmm.
to ensure. Excuse me, it's programmed a certain way. You could tell to ensure so that the machines can keep making money. So
Sure.
it's like you ain't going unless you nice like that. Now you ain't
Right.
just gonna breeze through the arcade version with
Nah.
no flawless victory, or even on very
Sure.
easy.
No, that makes sense. That makes sense though. But
Justin had the same. We had the same colors, Justin.
translucent
My
purple.
little sisters had the pinkish red one and the purple one. My
Mm-hmm.
brother had Game Boy Advance.
Oh, okay, yeah. So that came right after.
Right.
Game Boy Advance was another hit turner. I had moved on to, which is weird because I moved on to like PS1 only because it had the little
Yeah.
screen.
Yeah.
Okay.
People had been playing PlayStation for years, but I was a late gamer. I was a casual gamer. I was a poser.
People was playing that to school.
Yeah, but that's really only reason I wanted it is because I went to Pandora's Cube in White Marsh and literally in the display they had
That with that one.
they had the PS1 with
That's
the
wild.
flip up screen, and it
Yeah.
was running and it was playing the Japanese import game. So it had DBZ Legends and they had Dragon
Yep.
Ball GT, and I was like, are these Japanese? And then this is at the height of Dragon Ball Z in America. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like this was as high as it was going to get. I was like, oh yeah, I want this, just so I could say, you know what, I can go somewhere and just pull it out. And it's crazy part is I never took it anywhere. I can't imagine. Like I think I went on vacation with it a couple of times, but I'm like, bro, what are you doing? You had a PS1. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna take it to school on days and said I could be back here playing my PS1. That's where my brain used to go when it came to Christmas things. But that's the Game Boy. That's where my mind was already
Yo,
at.
I told you when my dad. Remember that gray van he had?
Mm-hmm.
No,
Bill Gates' gray van.
That had a PlayStation connector inside. In the back, the far back had the PlayStation 2, PlayStation 1 controller thingamajigs. You hook it right in there, and then you hook the PlayStation in one of the slots, and then you could play. So I literally played Mortal Kombat Deception on my way to high school graduation. And when
That's
we were
crazy,
going like
bro.
family trips,
Yep.
once my sister and my aunts would go
Clutch.
to sleep,
Yeah.
right.
and,
Right.
man.
Bro,
And that's
that's
the
clutch,
thing.
bro.
Today's kids will
In
never
the car,
know.
bro.
In
That
the
was
car.
a privilege.
Yeah.
And I remember when they got the van, because this is before the converter boxes and the digital transition. So we was able to get TV. That was the whole
Right.
appeal. TV,
Yeah.
DVDs. Man, you imagine how many Family Connection DVDs we watched. That. Movies, watching Kings of Comedy, because my parents love that. So that was like one of their first pay-per-view buys that they bought after we got satellite. But
Okay.
yeah, be able to play that, watch up. I was playing a lot of Here Comes the Pain and Shut Your Mouth in the back
Bro.
of the van, man.
In the car, bro. Like just like
Yes.
we used to see kids with like it was a dude. who same situation, had a conversion van, and it was he one of them families where he was the baby. He was my age. We might have been in second grade, but he had like a bunch of older brothers, and one of his older brother would come pick him up, and him and all the rest of his brothers in the conversion van. They like, yeah, we got a TV in the back, and they're like, you got a TV in the back of your car? You watching cartoons or something? Like, yeah. So nowadays that's nothing. You watch TV from your phone. Once I discovered free TV on your phone in like 2008 and 9. That changed my life. I was
Yo,
like, what is this? TV is free? No, what's the catch? They're like, no, it's just ads pay for it. I was like, what? And then this is like pre Pluto. So it's like people were it was like these random apps with these free TV things. But that I grew up on TV. That's my thing.
Hey Vaughn, shout out to your parents. WrestleMania 14, that's a good one.
Oh,
That's first pay per view.
One of the classics.
Y'all know the first pay per view WrestleMania. My parents ordered for him.
All right. You always
Shout out to Bartlett.
Like it's sickening, bro. Like
I was trying to move on,
I had
bro.
to give my man Bartlett credit. Shout out to Bartlett.
you did
WWE
that.
shop.
we
He
appreciate
shouted
you,
out
Bartlett,
Vaughn
you know
on
what I mean?
purpose because he knew where he was going with this.
Nah, in all fairness, he
He
said it.
perfect.
I
This
didn't.
is the perfect. This is the perfect
didn't-
window for me to bring a
I didn't-
WrestleMania 9 intro. Like,
I
come
ain't
on.
said it. No, it was prototype Justin. That's how it was though in those conversion vans after like the mid 2000s, late 90s, early 2000s. It was almost standard. They came with it, and because this was right before the portable DVDs became a thing, where they put the portable DVDs on the back,
flip down joints. Yep.
The flip downs. Yep.
No, on the back of the the premium
remember that.
premium vans.
So you don't know nothing about that, young blood.
Yeah, of course. It's always good to take a trip down memory lane because it's once again I said it like 5 times. It's only fitting because, gentlemen, guess what? There's a little bit of some information that I need to kind of drop for you as we get ready for 2026. For those that may not know, that 2026 will mark officially the 15th anniversary of the wrestling realm. And we will be celebrating all year our 15th anniversary of existence. Coming up on 200 shows. Is that correct, Brian H? Of the Wrestling Realm Now podcast?
We actually, because we are on episode 199.
So like I said,
I just checked the numbers.
So we're ending at 199 in 2025, so we can bring in 2026 the correct way. But yes, so for those that may not be familiar with it, I guess 5 years ago when we first jumped into the podcast space, as far as the overall arching wrestling realm brand of expansion that we decided to do, that was the first year. It was an anniversary. It was our 10-year anniversary. It was the anniversary year, so everything was 10-year anniversary out, and we had a blast celebrating. It was our first year. We were just trying to figure out, our way and staying current in this podcast space. And like I said, we were maybe a year and a half in, and we were ranked top 15 in WWE podcasts, nationally ranked amongst several different national ranking systems of podcasts. And we were on a list of some heavy hitters. And I was like, bro, are you sure they're talking about us? He's like, nah, bro, this is it. And consistently for the last 5 years, we have not been anything less than, I think at the lowest we've been maybe 21. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, which isn't bad. You're talking about ranking the top 25 of WWE podcasts. And we talking about with the heavy hitters. Like we were, I think I don't know if it was year 1, we were like 15. I was like, wait a minute, we're above some brands I didn't want to name. I was like, yo, did they make a mistake? And they were like, nope, this is it. And when they spelled our names right, I knew I was like, oh, this is for real.
And I want to give a shout out to two champs of the Big Gold Belt Media, because he brought it to my attention. He was like, bro, like, yo, people really rocking with y'all show. And I was like, wait, what? They we've done some crossover work with the Big Gold Belt podcast. So yeah, I wanted to, just make sure, I saw Two Champs this weekend. As always, it was great pleasure being amongst the people, especially our good brother Dr. D.
Dr. D going crazy.
Man, I'm glad you brought that up.
Shout out to Doc though, bro. Having a
Listen to
good
me.
time out there, man. I love to see it.
When I was minding my business and I was a little disappointed because I wasn't able to be in the mix of.
I like how you said you was minding your business.
I was minding my business. I wasn't able to be a part of the John Cena festivities as far as the celebration and as well as and the what do they call it, Brian H? I don't want to
Fan
keep rambling on.
Fest?
The Fan Fest, yes, the John Cena
Hosted
Fan
by
Fest.
Britt Waters and DJ Heat. DJ
Yes.
Heat, Morgan State University. Britt Waters,
Hey.
my good family, my good sister.
And
Bloodline,
they did an amazing job, by the way. And but I knew they were doing this, and I was like, man, it's genius that they have this for people that may not have been able to purchase tickets for the event because the event was so expensive. You know, clearly, obviously for the for the occasion, and I thought it was really really cool that they provided that an opportunity for the fans to come out there, celebrate John Cena, shop at that John Cena mega store, and get your merchandise. And I thought that was really 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 cool. And I just get this random video. Brian H was there, by the way. Brian H took the family to go, and he'll tell us a little bit more about that. And I got a text in my phone, and brother, he was like, "Yo, there you go." I said, "What you talking about, bro?" He's like, "Man, he out there making it happen. He out there wild." And I was like, "What's going on?" And I clicked the video, and like I said, shout out to an OG in the game, Dr. D, Daryl Williams. He was out there singing his heart out. First of all, he was singing HBK, Shawn Michaels theme music at the Fan Fest, getting over with the fans. He had that place rocking. I was like, "Oh my goodness, I need to call Doc." Doc, shout out to you, sir. If anybody shuts it down, it was you. When I say, and shout out also to Britt, because Britt, the way she hyped him up and just got in it with her, I was like, look at the crowd going crazy. I was so happy. I was so proud to know Doc in that moment. I was like, man, shout out to Dr. D. Daryl Williams in that moment. But I was like, yo, this is absolutely insane. Listen, if you don't believe me and you don't take my word for it, just listen to this. Brian H., we're going to have to screw the powers that be this week, because guess what? They're going to get a little bit of a copyrighted music, because this is too good not to show.
Let's go.
But this is Dr. D at John Cena's Fan Fest doing his pro wrestling karaoke to Shawn Michaels' HBK Sexy Boy. You got to check this out. Here we go. Bro,
Cool.
Yo, but he kept the
gosh.
belt on. Tell you to say he didn't wear that belt and it didn't move, man. You know, we know some people who walked around WrestleMania Access and the belts was falling, but Dr. D's belt
That's
stayed
crazy
right
work
on.
right there.
That's
crazy work.
I'm gonna tweet it out.
The way he took off his jacket, the way he spun around, the way he took his hat off, I said, bro, that's exactly how Shawn Michaels comes to the mother freaking ring. That's the part I was like, oh yeah, Doc is on one today, man. And then Rick just comes in and he shimmies and takes his jacket off. I was like, oh my god. So shout out to our good brother, Dr. D. Joe Williams, man. You sir are constant inspiration and OG in this game, man. I'm so glad you had that moment, and you went viral because, like I said earlier, I think Brother Hugh sent me another one. Like, hey man, he went viral. Somebody said, look, man, Unc got on stage and snapped on his music, and I was like, yo, Doc is going viral right now. I was like, man, you know, anytime us wrestling fans get a chance to get over, to get, you know what I mean, to have that fun on stage, and out of all songs, I mean, Sexy Boy Shawn Michaels, goodness gracious, that's my theme music. And he got on there and he absolutely killed this. So I'd be remiss if I didn't say shout out to you, Doc. That was amazing. That was probably one of the best parts of the weekend for me. When I saw that, I was definitely ready to watch some wrestling after that. I mean, he was on point. The spin, the way he snatched the hat and flipped it, and the spin around, I said, yo, he is out there working that audience, man. So I was happy he got a chance to have that moment, man. That was dope. If that would have been worth the ticket alone, man. But yeah, Brian, tell us a little bit more about Fan Fest and how it was being out there, just in the midst of all of that, not being able to be at the show, but you got to be amongst the people, amongst the fans for John Cena's retirement match in WWE.
Man, it made you feel good to be amongst the tribe again, right? I know a lot of times we don't, haven't been going to a lot of shows, to be straight up, like just in the area, and then Baltimore hasn't, and DC hasn't been getting the plethora of shows like we used to. But to be outside, shout out to Vaughn in the chat. Vaughn was there. It's always, y'all know, it's always love when you see Vaughn.
Good brother. Yep.
Yeah, good brother. You know, shout out to Fam, Black Wrestler, Fam and Mrs. Fam. Gotta give shout out to the Mrs. as well. I mentioned Two Chams. Who else I saw? I forget your name all the time from Black Wrestling, but he's the dude who he's not on the show, but he's kind of like the money man. I always call him the money man. He's always got a good suit on. And you know, shout out to my homie Amber, Boss Lady, was also out there. You know, so it was good to see people.
It's a family affair.
Yeah,
Definitely
and
was.
it's one of those things, you know, and to be able to see people celebrating John Cena, you know, shout out to Amanda from the DC crew of wrestler fans that, you know, we've been, all of us, you know, the wrestling realm here been connected and tapped in with a lot of the DC crew. Darnell's another one since 2012, you know, and it all started with the Ring of Honor shows. And it would translate when WWE was kind of coming more frequently. And, you know, even when they was in DC at those times, we would always see the big click, you know. So it was cool. You know, my kids really enjoyed being able to do some of the stuff. Like they had like they had blank belts and you could color them in.
Oh, that's
I
cool.
don't know if one of them woke, but they shouldn't be. But, you know, I would show the belt right here. But, yeah, they had, like, you know, my daughter was able to color a belt, and you could make a sign. And so that was fun, you know. And just being able to see, they had, like, different photos and stuff. I got a John Cena cup. I had to get a cup. And they got the little towels that said, the one he brought out there when he walked out. Right. So, yeah, we was able to get that, and yeah, man, it was right there in front of the Capital One Arena. What the homie Jason Benowitz, I mentioned him. I didn't get a chance to see him, but you know,
didn't see him?
We was texting
yeah.
on the way. But he, you know, he was. It was a lot of people out there. I'd say definitely hundreds. And people was coming and going.
That's a lot, especially in DC's congested area.
Right.
Yeah. It says walking. Now I ain't see the guy walking around with the goat. You said you got your tickets at about 7:15. That's what's up. I ain't gonna lie.
You thought about it.
I looked it up. I looked it up. Was thinking about making an irresponsible decision.
Yeah.
You know,
early
like,
Christmas present, everybody.
Right.
But I was like, you know, nope. We gotta eat.
Yeah.
You know,
John Cena, eat.
Yeah, my kids was like, it's okay, Dad. We're gonna watch it. We're gonna sit in the living room and watch it with the good views and get all the camera angles. I'm like,
then we're gonna do a recap show about it.
then we gonna do
it.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
I love it.
So and, you know, I recorded them. I think I sent it to y'all, and I know I sent it to my parents of their reaction at the end of the match, and we'll get into that later. But
yikes,
it was a moment, you know. But just to be in the mix, because we got there before it was like super cold, and as we was waiting, we before we left, we saw Britt. And shout out to Afterpay.
100%.
Yeah,
there you go.
And you know what? You know what, Justin? I am happy. That makes me happy that you was able to partake and be able to go down there with your brother, because y'all gonna have that memory forever. And that was my attitude, was for people who was able to go down there. Shout out to you, Vaughn. I'm happy about that. For people to go down there and be a part of it. You know what I mean? Like,
part of history.
I couldn't go, but y'all did, and y'all had fun, and it was history. You know, in DC, and of course, there's the talk. Well, why they ain't do it in New York? Why they ain't do it in Boston? That's where he's from. Why they ain't do it in Tampa? Is where he claims he lives. You know, we know John Cena turned in his Red Sox card for his Tampa Bay Rays card years ago. But
it's definitely a Tampa
guy. The way where everything fell, and it was truly, it was cool to. It was surreal almost, because I was walking around. It's like, all for one man.
Like, dude, bro.
All this for one man.
Yeah.
And it was crazy. $200 for floor seats? Now, wait a goddamn minute.
Stop
but
playing.
now, it was
at the
funny
last minute or something? Or?
Yeah, it was funny because, like, this was the first time my kids seen the buses, so that was cool.
Oh, okay, the WWE buses, everybody's personal Jimmy Jam,
personal joy. So you know, the Miz Express that was on Raw the other night, they saw that in person. The funny part, they saw Cody they saw Cody getting off the bus as we was walking
Oh,
to
that's
the
cool.
Fan Fest. And I said, y'all, look, there's Cody. They said, oh, that's Cody. Now, of course, he's like walking down the tunnel.
Sure.
But
Get
for
off
them
the
to be
American
able to
Wheatley
see,
bus.
yeah, for them to be able to see the bus and see Cody in the flesh, that was amazing. And as we was leaving, I forgot how much my daughter liked the New Day. And she,
Still?
here's the thing. See, this is the thing about Ariana.
Supporting the brothers.
When something happens that she don't like, it didn't happen. Depending on what it
okay.
is. So
Oh, all right.
She real choosy. Sounds like a lady.
2K comes out. If y'all see, and y'all probably see this over the break, on her profile on 2K, it's her, Jade, Naomi, Bianca. I said, but you know, she said, nope. Jade never turned bad. Naomi never. Shout out to Dr. D in the chat.
Hey.
I hope he saw the footage because I put the time code on the tweet.
Doc, please go back and watch this. We gave you a whole segment, brother. We talking about
Definitely did.
Yeah, so she's like, it didn't happen. She says Naomi never crashed out. She doesn't proceed with caution. She still glows. So when we talked about the New Day, and I said, wait, but you know, the New Day was on Raw. She said, no, they're not bad guys. But she was like excited. She said, oh, look, it's Big E. And when, you know, we was leaving, she saw them on stage, him, Rosenberg, and Joe Tessitore. So overall, that experience, the Fan Fest was incredible. It would be nice. I know you got to keep things special, but shoot, some things, man. If you could have events like tailgate pre-shows,
that's what kind of it is, though. You know what I mean?
it would be
100%.
awesome. You know, you think about
It's
we
an
all
extra
go
money
to-
maker as well.
you know, because you're gonna get people who in the mix. You know, you go out there for free, but you're in the mix. Boom, the merch is right there. You're liable to buy something because you just want to, you know, feel cool. I always say this: when you buy merch at events, it's always impulse purchases anyway.
Of course. You're not
Sometimes
looking
you
at the
know.
prices. Yeah.
Yeah,
You're like,
there's
look,
been
man.
shows where it's like, okay, this is exclusive shirt. I know I'm going to get this because I can only get it from there. But y'all know,
Facts.
like, I was sitting there, I was looking at the shirts. I said, wait, no. You go on www.com and you get it later.
There you
But
go. Don't be impulsive.
yeah, but the cup, that type of stuff, you know. Yeah, because you
gotta get
want
that
the
right
stuff
there,
in your
yeah.
hand, you know. But it's been times, you know, I was like, oh yeah, I want that shirt and I gotta wear it because I'm gonna put it over whatever I got, you know. So yeah, but it was a great time.
No, that's dope. I think that and you know me, my business brain is moving. I'm like, man, shoot, if I'm one of them restaurants, and I'm like, wait a minute, you mean to tell me
Amen.
if they have one, if they're going to keep having these fan fests across the street from the arena, if I'm one of these downtown restaurants that can hold it, like, hey, look, man, listen, if for those not going to the show, come down the street. We got good food, and we're gonna have it on for free. Oh, you know, whatever. You ain't gotta, you know, always is some type of basic lie. Hey, man, you ain't got to pay for it. Just come on in and order food. You know what I mean?
I miss the loafers days, man.
That's the thing. You know what I mean? That was one. You know,
Bro, that's another place where we, you know, kind of like sung our teeth in and got ingrained in this community. You know,
I know I did because I wasn't getting out a lot anyway.
yeah, I was to say, you know, shoot, real talk. That was the first time me and Amber Rodriguez, you know, actually met in person. Like we had did some interviews and stuff, but the first time was the Loafers. It was the Royal Rumble 2013, and I remember because that was the first time I brought out my god brother Mike to a show. Now he's far fetched, not a wrestler fan at this point, but I was like, yo, come to Loafers. It's the Rumble. You can find somebody. I remember he was like, yo, I like that Ziggler cat, you know, which
Amen.
which this,
Yeah. Yeah. That's
it was
why we
what I'm saying.
tight, know what I mean?
You would have been happy. This morning, your nephew was like, Dad, you ain't tell me Dolph Ziggler was back. I said, yeah, you know, he came back through the tournament. I said, you should have heard your uncle. He was going crazy. Uncle Hugh was
Screaming like a
happy.
little.
Ordered the T-shirt since we talking about merchandise.
Oh yeah,
Shirt
right
just
away.
came in out the other day.
I should have wore it. I
he's looking
definitely
for-
just came in. Yep. I'm
Yeah,
looking at it right
actually,
there.
we got a tweet. We got a tweet from Doc, and it says, "My young legends, Wrestler Realm, Brian H. Waters, Dwayne Allen, 24 has the third, always the real ones." Hashtag, y'all know what he said? End of story.
Yes, the heck you did. Shout out to you, Doc. We appreciate you, man. Listen to me. You still got it. You still got it. You never lost it, brother. But that video saved in my phone. I'm gonna keep it. I'm running back a couple times. When I saw somebody else post it from a different angle, I said it's going viral. They said Unc just got on stage and snapped to HBK's music. So that's to me what the Fan Fest is all about. I love the concept, and I'm glad that you guys, a lot of our DMV family definitely was out there. Obviously, it's in their backyard. But to be able to go and experience that with your kids is history. Like I said, it's the next best thing to, not actually being able to be at the show. And even, my niece and nephew, they're like, it's fine. Like, we at least got to come out here. We still get to go back and watch it and hang out and eat and relax and enjoy our weekend. So I'm like, but to me, that's what pro wrestling has always been about. It. Those are the memories that we try to recreate for the next generation.
Bianca Belair
posted
a picture outside of the Tyler Perry Studios.
What type of time is she on?
I don't know.
She might be in one of those movies. It's Netflix.
Bro,
he's got Netflix, so.
Hollywood, leave our wrestlers alone.
She can't move her finger, so
can't
she got
now.
Right.
That's crazy, bro.
Figure something else.
Yeah.
Yo.
Just saying.
I know what you mean. She was manifestation, but it's just the fact that she can't move her finger.
She can.
That's wild.
It's stuff.
Just look at her stories. Respectfully.
Respectfully. Brian H is about to start getting himself going again. So
right.
Without further ado, let's not waste any time. We're going to ask our co-host Rocky Balboa and Apollo Creed to do us the honors, and let's get going with the main event of our show. Do us a favor and ring us a bell, gentlemen.
Want to ring the bell?
Ding, ding.
Well, good brothers, we're here. And we're here to talk about John Cena. John Cena's retirement match. We had an entire build for an entire year, completely mapped out of everything that John Cena wanted to do, every loose end he wanted to tie up before it was time for him to hang up his sneakers for good. Can't say wrestling boots because he wrestles in jorts and sneakers. But there was a lot of controversy as the night ended. We were supposed to talk about Bullhead Austin Theory at one point, but we had a good video game conversation. We'll get to him later. John Cena. Let's get back to Cena. But John Cena had his final match in WWE. This is the chapter has officially closed on his in-ring career against the Ring Janada Kunta. And a lot of people were looking forward to this one last moment. And we all gathered in the arenas, around our TV sets, our phones, tablets, whatever, to watch Super Cena be Super Cena one more time. But the reality is that's not exactly what we got. We got a superstar who was trying to show the world in a very Shakespearean fashion that he is a shell of himself and he can no longer do this at a high level. As much as he attempted, Gunta is clearly the future of this business, and John Cena wanted to make sure that was kind of highlighted front and center. He wanted to make sure that was the thing that we walked away knowing, unselfishly. Now, the fans didn't necessarily agree with that. They weren't okay with how that planned out. They weren't okay with the finish. They weren't okay with just the match in general. A lot of people felt like if this was going to be the last match for John Cena, John Cena's different. He's not like everybody else. So maybe the rules might change, or there's an exception that could have potentially been made in his case. It's because he's not like everybody else. See, Hulkamania was created to live forever, right? Hogan, in his mind, never retired. It was never retired. That's why he never had a retirement run, because in his mind, he always had one more in him. And he's always going to do something, and he would never say he's retired, because Hulkamania was going to run wild in whatever way possible, versus John Cena's like, hey, look, let's put a cap on this, because let's be real. I'm only going to come back to do spots and events and moments and this kind of stuff he was already doing, opening up the show, getting the crowd riled up. Hey, welcome here. This is what we're doing. And he wanted to kind of separate the two. So this was different. And everybody knows you go out on your back. You do the honors for the person that is coming after you, because tomorrow the story goes on. That's the tradition. But once again, the fans didn't necessarily accept this. Now, last week we didn't have a follow-up directly after this moment, but Brian H, he graced us. He decided to do a post show. He decided to sound off about John Cena and his retirement match, but he was not alone. He decided to bring the ones who grew up on John Cena, the one who John Cena actually catered to. That's right. He brought his children. He did an excellent show afterwards, and let's just say they had quite a bit to say. So let's hear what Brian H and his children had to say after John Cena's final retirement match in the WWE.
This isn't a career that I know they do it every time, every wrestler, but this isn't a career that you should end off with trying to push someone else. I feel like it's something that needs to end on its own terms.
So like Shawn Michaels and Undertaker, Ric Flair and Shawn Michaels.
Exactly. I feel like the tradition of people losing their last match just to bring up the next generation, it doesn't work. It doesn't work anymore. Because to be honest, in this new age, there's no one I really care about anymore.
What?
I'm just...
we'll get more into that later. Nobody care about Ariana. How did you feel?
I think it was just a lot of rage. Towards it was the smile that tricked me because I thought that he was gonna pull some sick power move and win the whole thing, but then he decided to tap, and that made me really upset.
Such honesty. There's no better opinion in a situation like this to hear from the ones who this stuff is for in the first place, and that's the young people. Shout out to Jonathan. He's an up and coming podcaster. Like I said, he's too intelligent for his own good. He's on. What's the name of his podcast again? I was about to call it the Vibes Check. I don't think it's called.
Yeah, that's the Vibes Check.
Yeah,
okay,
that's
the Vibes
right.
Check. Yeah, he's one of the young podcasters that's up and coming. He's just getting his. He's very well spoken, as you can see. Very articulate, well delivery, and he's also insightful. He's been paying attention to this stuff that his father and his uncles have been playing around with for the last 15 years.
He's supposed to be in bed sleep. He was sitting there watching.
That's a revelation that we got. Like, I had no idea he was listening to us have these conversations. But like I said, if we passed on any positivity, I'm glad it was that. As well as Ariana coming there and being bold and honest in her strong self, letting the world know what she expected. But the level of honesty that they gave, I was like, whoa, this is the insight that I feel like people need to hear. Now, we all feel some type of way about it, but it's good to have such a broad perspective. And if you want to catch the full episode, go to youtube.com. Playlist. What playlist is it on the Brian H?
Break it down with Brian H.
Break it down with Brian H. What episode is this?
Episode 309.
309.
Okay.
To watch the full episode so you can get the details of it, of all the things that Brian said. And I'm sure he'll give his opinion about he'll bring up some of the things that he mentioned. But when they said that, it made me take a step back and say, okay, so at least all of us as fans were probably on the same page, because I can't say that I wasn't thinking the same thing that they were thinking. But at the end of the day, there's a time-honored tradition that we're familiar with. But what Jonathan said is like, man, for some people, I don't think in this situation, if everything else is different and everything else is special, and this is not like every other situation, why would the ending be just like every other traditional situation? And that is what brings us to our conversation today, because did the WWE get it right in this whole situation with John Cena and his retirement match? And not just the match, but the way that it ended? Brothers, let's talk about it. Who wants to dive into this first?
You daggone right they got it right, man.
Okay, there it is. Captain Controversial. Let's just get into it. You're on the big screen, baby. Let it rip.
I'm not gonna lie, that the smile threw me off too. And I was kind of like, what the heck? Why is he smiling? And but I wasn't upset with the tap. Okay. I was okay with it. Why? Because I knew what was gonna happen after that. Right? Okay. And you saw what happened on Monday. We have a new super mega villain in WWE.
He's not he is a villain.
Right. This is old school heat.
Yes.
That's what was needed. Who else do we really have like that now? Because now if you think about it, the majority of the heels that are out there now, the people like them.
Yeah.
Cool. Your Dominics,
like guys.
Your Drews. You know, they love him.
Oh, that's actually a really good point.
Think about it. Think about it.
Be a bad guy.
So, like, I was okay with it. I was a little turned off by the smile. But then as you think about it even more, what is John Cena? He's a movie star, right?
Yeah.
He's going to tell a story, right?
Yep.
I looked at that smile as if it was a symbol of acceptance.
Yeah,
Like,
bro.
look,
It took
he's
me
been
2 days to come to that same conclusion, bro. We're on the same page, bro. Go ahead. You're cooking
he
right
been
now,
tell,
brother.
he been
You
telling
start
this
to
story
sizzle.
the whole
Yes, he
year.
has.
He's been telling this story. He's like, look, man, I don't know, my body is not holding up.
Now you're cooking right now, bro. You sizzling.
My body is not holding up. This, that, whatever. I don't know how much longer I can do this.
Yes.
He gave us these great matches and whatnot. Still gave us a great match with Gunther, the
Mhm.
best person, the best dance partner for him to be in the ring with at that point in time. Why?
Sure.
Because Gunther's safe. He can
Yep.
tell a story. He's gonna make you look like $1,000,000, no matter what. Right?
Yeah. He's gonna make you
So it
care.
it makes sense. And shout
Mhm.
out to Gunther because now we're seeing a little bit more of his personality.
Oh yeah.
You see what I'm
Especially on
saying?
Raw the next
He's
day. He
not
was ooh. He's
right.
not so
He's
just
not
like he's not a robot. Not like the Terminator.
exactly. He's not as boring as he was before. Just stern, straight face. Just okay. I'm gonna come out. I'm gonna choke you out, and that's it. Like that was
I am
cool,
better than you. I
right?
am
So
Gunta.
let's take it to the next level. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So like, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. Like the tap, the tap was the best thing for us at this point in time. I know a lot of
Wow.
people, a lot of
Oh.
wrestling fans.
Mhm.
I get tired of hearing y'all sometimes. I ain't gonna lie, but talking about this never give up stuff. I get it. I get it. But
Sure.
what comes of say if Cena won, right? Because a lot of people was talking about Cena winning. What if Cena
Mhm.
won, right? What's next after it? He just won, and then he's
Yeah.
gone. What?
Then
What's a
you
better
got
way?
yeah.
It's better for him to leave some sort of legacy or keep it going, right?
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
Gunther now has something extra to talk about.
Yes, he does.
No matter what he does in his career, he can say, "Look, man, I made John Cena tap out. Nobody did that for what?
And that what Chris Jericho does? Rob beat Rockin' the Stone Cold on the same
Absolutely,
night.
absolutely. So
Shout out to
it
brother
makes
guy.
perfect sense. It makes perfect sense. I'm okay with it. I'm just eager to see what's next for Gunther. See
Mhm.
how far he's going to take this bad boy. We know he probably is going to become the retirement person now. You know what I'm saying? He's going to take out AJ. We saw
Yeah.
the little
I was
glimpse
like,
of it
oh
early
no.
on Raw. I was like,
When I
he's
seen him,
next,
when I when I saw him in the car, I said, oh no, not the AJ.
right? And then you never know. We might go after Brock next. So like,
Oof.
so I'm with it though. I'm with it. I'm with
Well,
it.
I'm glad you brought up the fact about him being a heel,
Mm-hmm.
right? And because as you was talking, Gunther reminds me. Y'all know how growing up there was always that one uncle or one parental friend who, man, honestly, I liked Andre the Giant. I ain't like Hulk Hogan. You know what I mean? Or you hear
Yep.
somebody say like they might not they like Jerry Lawler instead
I
of
love
Bret
Jerry Lawler,
Hart.
by the way.
You
Absolutely.
know, it was always that one person who liked that big bad guy. And you'd be
Before the
like,
'90s, not against Bret Hart's.
yeah, like in basketball, it was like the one few people who would talk about, man, I'm rooting for the Utah Jazz. I ain't rooting for the Bulls.
Or the Knicks.
That's
Or the
yeah,
Pistons, the
Right.
evil
Right.
ones.
Right.
that's Gunther.
Yeah.
He's going to be that guy where you're going to be. It's like the people who like. He's got that distinct people that like him, but they don't. They not going to be the ones to buy his T-shirts because he's not
No.
going to have a lot of T-shirts. Contrarians, you know, Vaughn said it best, and I love that about him, and that's what's so
Old school heel.
exciting about this. Yeah, because and the thing is, he walked out there and embraced it. First of all,
Oh, real. Oh my gosh.
Yes.
to
Yes.
walk outside in Washington D.C. Those
With shorts
fans
on.
are yelling.
What's on it? What is it,
Bruh.
bro?
It's cold as hell out there. Some
With a
shorts.
smirk
Short
on his
set of
face.
courses.
No security.
like,
He just had one person. He was bigger than the person that was escorting him. I said, he's not
Exactly.
afraid. He's not
And
afraid
it
of
was-
nothing.
Exactly. And I'm like, and people like chasing him, but they ain't stupid.
Facts.
You know? And you think about people who would have been in that position, be like, oh shoot, would have flustered or would have disappeared, you know. So that was exciting about seeing that because it gave you that old school wrestling feel. And you know, and one thing about the kids is I showed them at a time I talked to Gunther this year. was right before his. It was like in between him winning the world title and SummerSlam, right?
When you guys bond against heels.
That was a good one,
Right.
But I showed them the clip, and that was the first time my kids was not proud of something I did. And I loved it. I loved it,
bro. Hold on. Time out. Did you just time out?
Get them kids.
Did you say they were not proud of something?
Not proud. Everything, if I showed them something, don't matter what it is. Oh, this is cool, Dad, And then they, talk about, my dad's so cool and this, that, and the other. And I'm like, I showed them this video at dinner yesterday. I said, y'all know I actually talked to Gunther this shit.
Yeah, you was hitting all this. I saw you hit it. There you go, bro.
Yep.
Yeah, and I showed them that one. I didn't even show them the one from today, which is dropping tomorrow. Make sure y'all check out the Masked Man show.
Oh boy,
because he gave, yeah, he
was on his.
it.
He was on his.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, he don't care.
He really does not care, though.
He was like he didn't even like John Cena. He said that was a dark period when John Cena was on top. That's what turned him off of WWE.
Oh boy,
all to
he
make
was
him more
part of that
so
swing
interesting.
in the United Kingdom. He was on the European side of that NXT wave, where we had Ring of Honor and Kevin Steen and like on that and on stateside, like they were a part of him and Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate
and Kaiser,
Trent Seven and Ludwig Kaiser on that United Kingdom run. So
and Silencer. It's like who. I'm trying to think. It's like when Steph Curry hits the shot in away arenas.
Sure.
And puts people to, and that was Gunther. You know what I mean? And then he made, Raw was more must-see TV after his match with John Cena than it was after the Survivor Series for me. Survivor Series is like, okay, y'all got somebody out in the mask. I would rather y'all show me what it's day. I'll see it, whatever. I could not wait to see what Gunther was going to do or say.
For that baby shark to hit. Yep. You know what I'm saying?
The baby.
And that man came out there, man, and then the fact he kept running back.
Bro.
He kept running back to the ring.
Perfect.
Like
just pissing people off though. I was like, yo. Why? He is literally absolutely one of my favorites at this point. Now, not at this point, like he wasn't, but I'm telling you, like if he was there already, but now I'm like, okay, like he's my number one bad guy in all of wrestling right now. I don't know anybody that has any like legitimate pure heat, like natural organic heat. Like people are starting to look at him and like, bro, I'm disgusted looking at you. Like that's the level you want to be at. Adam Pearce was like, you know what? So you think that makes you tough? Well, guess what? Your night is over. Good night. He's like, I don't care. I was going to the door anyway. I'm like, bro, you trying to make somebody mad and they don't care, bro. He don't give a crap.
Yeah. He's gonna now. No more Gunther. That's what Jermaine. Shout out to Jermaine. He just came through the chat.
Then this man, he made just seen the tap out, and then he go and tweet pro wrestling or wrestling is greater than entertainment.
Something like that,
bro. Like it's like
shout out to Michael Cole for that call too.
Come on, yeah, absolutely. Michael Cole is that guy.
What I tell y'all, GOAT, man.
Yes,
put him on the Mount Rushmore.
It's hard to say that he's not, especially at this late in his career. He's been able to like evolve from just broadcast journalism. He's allowed to show his emotion, like, hey, I care about this too.
Yeah.
So it was an amazing.
That's one thing I will say about this era.
Yeah.
That we was able to get Michael Cole to open up, and not in that dumb way of WrestleMania 27.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yes.
Yes. That the match with Cody and Roman too. That was like to me.
Roman lost.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Where it solidified Michael Cole amongst everybody.
Absolutely.
Where everybody was like, okay, we got it. You know, when he was like, finish.
I was about to say, what was that?
Story.
I was about to say, what was that called? That's it. That's it right there, that one.
Yeah. And then him express it, you know, just the way, how much he loved. And then ever since then, and then every big moment since, You know what I mean? And then when he said, man, because that night he said, I love pro wrestling. It was like, ultimately, it was a shot at the
Everybody.
old man.
Yeah, it was.
Like,
There's nothing
yeah,
you can
you
do
know,
about it. You can't fire me.
sports entertainment. Yeah. And then this time he said, pro wrestling just kill sports entertainment. I was like, yo, like, that all together, man, just the
Crazy,
storytelling of this match. Because it was a great match.
It
That's the
was.
thing. People don't talk about it because everybody was crying and complaining about the finish. And I went live immediately on TikTok. And man, when I tell you, people was flooding the gates. Over 100 people was coming through.
Yeah, I remember you was telling me.
Yeah. And I was like, y'all, man. I was laughing. But, you know, yeah, some people understood. That was the thing. That also showed, for me, what I wanted, my biggest message to people was,
Yeah.
it's okay not to understand professional wrestling the way we do. And I'm not saying this in an arrogant way. It's okay to just be a fan and like what you don't like. And you know, like what you like and dislike what you dislike, and just take what's be presented on TV. It's okay. You don't have to be an expert in this, and it's fine. Some things you just may not understand. Time, honor, and tradition.
Yeah.
Yeah, but bet you they better be asleep. I know, because that's been a buzzword in this house all weekend.
Yeah, especially judging by the footage when you go back and you watch that episode of Break It Down, Brian H. Man, it was here's the part I like the most about the show you did with the children is that they were, to me, like of the voice of a certain generation, because, and I know this for a fact is because my nephew called me maybe a day and a half later,
conversation.
and another episode of the Wrestling Realm Wrestling Realm show took place, this time not with his father but with his son. And I was like, okay, so I'm on the phone with Junior now, Junior Hollywood, and when I say, oh my gosh, I was ready here sweating like, bro, he's not backing down. But the problem was he was making sense. I'm like, crap, now I gotta have this real conversation with him. Is because we got to get on the same page. He was saying things that made sense, but some stuff I didn't agree with.
Right.
Eventually, we came to a stalemate, and I applaud his intelligence and his approach to the business. But you know, his generation views things differently, and that's something we generally have to accept. So, as an older guy to a younger man, I'm like, okay, let me hear you out, young fella. Let me hear what you're talking about, and trying to find that balance, and hearing what the children had to say about what they felt and what they said. I was like, man, it shows us, it goes back to what Brother Hugh mentioned, how this affects us all in different spaces and different places. You know, I
had those conversations with my Uncle Troy. That
tradition,
11-year gap, you know what I mean? Where, okay, and this was obviously when Cena was coming in. And I'm saying, okay, he's like, man, what is a FU? I don't like John Cena. He can't wrestle.
Yeah,
and
I was the
like,
same way. Like, what? He's got jeans on. He's got, what is he doing?
And so that's Troy's perspective.
Yeah.
And I'm saying, okay, but you know, we got this, that, and the other. And I think we also saw it later too, where the Daniel Bryan situations, right? So it's always like these generational, where we come together and we have these conversations to see it from each other's point of view. So we saw that it's like, man, we really morphed into the OGs, and you know, you
100%.
Yeah, that's like, how do we get to this point? And it's to your point,
6'7".
Well, God, to your point, to your point,
8'9".
Right.
To your point, Brian H. It's like, it's when you're able to evolve with your point of view, knowing what we know, understanding the industry, but also hearing it from a generation or two under, and how they view it and how they see it. And there's certain things that they may not be privy to. Once again, time honored tradition. They're like, well, nah, we this new generation, we don't, those standards are not upheld in their product, because like I said, pro wrestling used to be a live event business, and then pro wrestling turned into a TV business, and now it's a content driven business. So in the content creation space, you don't see a whole lot of time honored tradition. It's new, it's fast, it's quick. There's these standards that these young folks are not privy to. You know what I mean? Like, we didn't learn this stuff until we got older, but we were so obsessed with this product and pro wrestling as a whole. As we got older, we began to look at it from our age perspective. We didn't look at it like we were 8-year-olds anymore. We were like, hey, so what does this mean? Hey, what does that accept you start doing some digging, you start going backwards, and you start understanding certain aspects of the industry. We got a little bit of that, and even then, people looked at the stuff that we watched and said, "Oh, that's not the way it's supposed to be." You know what I mean? They said Luthez and them hated Hogan's era. That's because that's not real wrestling. These guys are just a bunch of show business guys. This isn't true wrestling. Ed the Strangler Lewis and all them were not fans of Hulkamania, but the golden era is what made pro wrestling what it is today. It made it a viable platform for people to become multimillionaires. It became pop culture. That's you see what I'm saying? So it's like cool. And I can admit, as an older person, I was bitter when John Cena became what he was. I was like, this is not Shawn Michaels, this is not Bret Hart, this is not Austin, this is not Rock. You're not gonna tell me this dude, this Vanilla Ice dude that can't wrestle, all of a sudden is the guy. And then when you look and saw what he turned into, you're like, oh, okay, yeah, they probably can't survive if he's not at the forefront.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it became hard because we couldn't control it, right? It was like, okay, we know John Cena's going to be there, but please let it be somebody else besides Randy Orton this time. Nope, it's Randy Orton again. They're like, come on, bro, please. And it was like, all right, well, we know we need you. And then we got Edge. It's a breath of fresh air. Then it's like, nope, that's back to this. And you're like, bro. And then CM Punk came, and it was like this whole wave of rebellion. And then all of a sudden he was gone. You're like, is he gone for real? Then Del Rio, and it was hard to control what we wanted, but understanding that John Cena had kind of just surpassed everything that was available at the time. Although there were guys that were much more talented than him in the ring, but when you understand the branding of what he represents, he was WWE. I mean, for a long time, like a long time. You know what I mean? You put John Cena in front of any little kid, they know whether they watch wrestling or not, they know who John Cena is, whether they saw him in a commercial, in a Scooby-Doo film, on the Fruity Pebbles box. They know John Cena's the wrestler. He's that guy. Like when you watch a movie, you need a representation of somebody, it will be John Cena. Oh, that's John Cena. You're going to get a John Cena reference from the 2000s all the way up, mid 2000s up to, almost today. It's because he was pro wrestling. And it's like now that we transition out of that, Cody Rhodes is trying to carry that banner. It was just tough shoes to fill because one, he's getting started late. But, to see the way that it ended, I started to look at the same things like Brother Hugh did after a while. I was like, okay. At first, I was like, this seemed kind of flat. What's going on? There's got to be something else to it. And then that was it. And then I was like, okay. It took me like a day or two to realize, like, well, Cena. I realized why Cena smiled. He was like, Brother Hugh. He was like, all right, fellas, that's it. All right, everybody. That's the show. I'm done. Thank you. Like he was smiling, like that was it. I gave you the best. And then everybody kind of booed because they're like, and you could tell he wanted to be like, he wanted to apologize. He's like, bro, that's the best I could give you, because he understood the assignment. John Cena's not going anywhere. John Cena's in-ring career is ending. If John Cena was done with wrestling completely, it might be a different conversation.
Right.
But he's like, well, I gotta move the conversation forward because I'm not going anywhere. I'm just changing my lane. And I was like, okay. And you can argue until you blue in the face that whether he should have tapped or not, or what I wanted, but John Cena gave up the character at the end of the match. He didn't wait till the match was over to do it. And that's what bothered a lot of fans. But it's his choice. Like Brother Hugh said, he'd been given a Shakespeare for his last 2 and 3 matches. I was like, okay, he's doing a lot of performing right now. After AJ Styles, he was done. We saw him, Cody Rhodes. He said that's the best match I've ever had. Yeah. That's why Cody Rhodes is dang near about to cry every time he's talking to him. And then we was like, why would he sit there and have a match with AJ and make him look bad? Because AJ's not. But he said it himself. He's like, we did a love letter to wrestling. That's the first thing every major wrestling fan said. Yep. Oh, he just gave a love letter to wrestling. You know what I mean? And he said in his interviews, like, that's what we did. I was like, oh, so you were thinking this. So what we saw was true, though. We saw what you were doing. And so we got that. And after that, we all knew he was done. He's told, listen, I'm hurting. And then after the match with Gunther was very limited. He said, bro, this is the best I can give you. This is all I can give you with him. This is it. Like he was literally dragging himself to the finish line. And he allowed Gunther to beat him up, look dominant, and then choke him out. And it was just like, okay, I'm done. You know what I mean? And then it was poetic.
It was. Shout out to the production part of it too. Like towards the end, just something as simple as just the camera angles and the design of the actual entranceway. where
Yes.
he was able to get that shot where he's walking into the sunset. You said it
There you
in
go.
the chat. Something as simple as that. It sold that story that he told in the ring that night.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a very emotional night. I didn't get like emotional about it, like, oh, I'm about to cry. Like when Kobe's last game, I started tearing up. Like when he was
Hey,
done,
man,
and
yeah.
I was like, oh shoot, like it had a moment where I was like, oh my gosh, I think I'm about to cry. And this is the 60-point game, but when he hugged Kevin Owens, and I realized, oh shoot, Kevin Owens is really hurt because Kevin
Mm-hmm.
Owens and John Cena have a certain chapter. And I'm like, Kevin Owens is probably dying inside. He didn't have a chance to have a match with him.
Facts.
Like he's
Yeah.
like, dang, I got hurt at the wrong time. Like I should have been a big part of this John Cena goodbye tour. And he always admired Kevin Owens because he talked about it. He said, look, man, when new guys came in, I consulted with them. And I'm like, this is why they had so much respect for you. It's because you had respect for them. Like, look, I know you have not been here for 20 years, but I have. But hey, is there something I can do to improve, or what's the best way for me to go about it? And that's why he had that bond with AJ. That's why he had that bond with Sammy, that same bond with Kevin Owens. I'm like, oh, okay. So he was cool with the actual wrestlers. He never carried like, look, well, this is WWE and it's different over here. He never carried it that way. And
Exactly.
and even how gracious he was when, like, when he gave Alicia Taylor the intro for AJ Styles for their match, and he was like, it was the one situation where I didn't ask permission, but I asked for forgiveness. Like I did it. I should have said something to you because they mentioned other properties when you
Yeah.
could
Mm-hmm.
that could be a legal battle if you mention somebody else's intellectual property on live TV or whatever it was. And he was like, look, it won't happen again. Of course it's not, John. He's like, I apologize. I've asked for permission for 23 years, or however long it is. It's the one time I didn't. Please forgive me. It won't happen again. But I wanted to do. He literally said, but I want to do something special for my guy. Because AJ was
Yep.
taken back. He called him the ace of the Bullet Club. He was like, oh wow. That's what he knew. Like, oh, this is real. So yeah, it's I had no problem with it. Like I said, I was taken aback by it. I wanted something different. I can admit that I wanted something different, but it doesn't mean it was wrong. You know what I mean?
Right.
And as much as we criticize Triple H, he's still trying to reprogram us into the becoming the wait and see. He wants us to look at the business, or he wants us to look at the product differently. Stop looking for instant gratification every time you have a moment. Let the stories cook. Let the stew simmer so we can get to the next chapter
There
of a
it
bigger
is.
book. The problem is we never know what the bigger book is. He's like, but that's the fun part. I don't want you to. You got to show up every week to figure out where this is going. And he's trying to replicate his era so much, but he can't do it his way. Because back in the day it was Crash TV. You caught lightning in a bottle, but now it's like we got to get people coming back and long enough for us to give us the payoff and be like, oh wow, this is what we took so long. But Jonathan will tell you, Brian H's son, we had a whole generation where they didn't have to deal with that. Like
Yeah.
McMahon was a showman. He's like, give the best show for the audience that's in front of us right now. We'll figure the rest out later. Like I was arguing with Jonathan. I said, that's why Vince will be up till 3 o'clock in the morning, is because he'll say, you hear that crowd? Let's give the fans what they want. And they're like, yeah, right, Vince. How do we make this make sense tomorrow? We'll figure it out later. He's up on the jet 3 in the morning, flying to his next
Trying to
destination,
figure it out. Yeah.
trying to get creative team on the call, because that crap, we didn't did all this crazy stuff. Now we got to make it make sense. And that's kind of why we got this wonky ruthless aggression era sometimes, because it was like Vince was like, no, listen, he was traditionally, he was carny, he was the greatest show on earth. Let's give this audience the best show they've seen. We'll figure it out tomorrow. And that's a whole generation. We got years and years and years of that. And now you got Triple H is like, no, let's go back to a different way. But I can't do it the way we did it. We got to find another way to do it. And to be honest with you, it's our generation and their generation, and we're caught in the middle of whatever Triple H is trying to do. This is my personal opinion. And I
Now,
think it's
it
rubbing
seems
everybody
right.
the wrong way.
It
I
definitely
wanna
seems
know
right.
one thing.
Mhm.
What was y'all thoughts when y'all heard that chant?
Which one?
The UF'd up chants. When Triple H walked out there, what was your immediate thoughts as you're watching the show?
Mhm.
We've never heard nothing like that before. We've heard boos. And for the sake, like Vince McMahon, he would get booed. But for fans
As a
blatantly.
character, maybe.
Yeah, but even like, okay, yeah, it's a character. But even like fans will boo something, right?
Like Hogan.
Obviously.
Hogan had the racist allegations. When he came out with
Yeah.
Titus O'Neil, it didn't matter what he was like. We don't care if you out here with a brother. We still booing you. He was only trying to say hello. Hey, welcome to the show.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
and even when they booed a booking decision, like
Mm-hmm.
Batista winning the Royal Rumble, Roman Reigns winning the Royal Rumble, because we
Yeah.
wanted Daniel Bryan in that moment, right?
Right.
We never heard boos where it was directed at the
No.
writer
No. Not at all.
saying you effed up, and then having this thing outside, and they saying AEW, you effed up. We
Yeah.
want Vince. What was y'all thoughts when y'all heard that? Let's start with inside the arena.
My initial thoughts was first, I just laughed because shout out to Loaded Lux, battle rapper.
Mhm.
First thing I thought was, oh, you emotional. Straight up. Because it's levels to it. And you alluded to it earlier. Look, we're not trying to sound cocky or whatnot, but there's different levels of wrestling fans.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? I'm not going to sit there. For me personally, I looked at it as if like I really broke it down and looked at all the subtle nuances and production and just the entertainment portion of it. And was like, all right, processed everything.
Right.
This makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me?
Right.
As opposed to everybody that was there. This was the Brock Lesnar beating Undertaker type moment.
Yeah. Yep.
You see what I'm saying? Like I get it as a fan, and if you're watching it as a true fan, you're gonna get emotional about it, right? So just to hear that, I was just kind of like, y'all gotta chill, y'all gotta wait. What's the one thing that Triple H does, right? Triple H, bro, he long term storytelling. You gotta be patient with him, right?
Yep.
Now look what we have, right?
Yeah.
That's the way. That's how I process things. That's how I processed it when I heard it first. I was like,
Okay.
come on, man, y'all doing too much. Y'all doing too much.
Yeah.
But I understand. I get it. So
Yeah.
that's how I processed it.
No, when I saw it, I was like, well, I hope you didn't expect anything different. Because to me, it was a bold, I was like, I hope he's not surprised. It's a bold move to do that type of finish. Like you have to know at some point, hey, this is probably going to rub a lot of people the wrong way. This is kind of a controversial finish. And then immediately you're the first one coming out, like hand in hand with your wife, like everybody, like, and as he walked out there, I'm like, it's like boo. And I was more upset. I was like, don't take this moment away from John Cena because you mad at Triple H. Like, let him have this, you know what I mean? Let everybody kind of show their thanks and appreciation. But if I'm him, I'm probably not the first. I get it. You got to lead the charge. But I'm like, man, maybe you should have came out last. And not, let everybody calm down a little bit, set the tone. But I was like, man, look, yeah, I mean, Triple H, you can't be surprised. Because it's just like you knew this was going to be a controversial finish to go about this, because there's no way in the world that you got all these minds thinking about these things and you're going over all these scenarios. And I know because you've showed us what goes on in your war room. We know the minds that you have there. So it's not like you have all types of people.
Open it up.
That's what I'm saying. So I know, especially anything, if you know about Paul Heyman, how he works, he will always tell you that when he does anything, he gives you every situation, including the worst case scenario. And now it's about choices. That's just how his creative has always been. WCW, ECW, WWE. So you can't make it seem like, oh, I didn't see this coming. Like, come on, bro. Because and I can tell is because when he walked out, of course, his road dog right behind him, Shawn Michaels, he immediately started laughing at him and pointing at him. And I said, that's something we would do to each other. He's like,
Right.
He pointed at him and laughed. I said, Shawn Michaels is terrible. Like, they act like 12-year-olds, but it's like they'll never get old. But he kind of knew what it was. And it's so when I heard that stuff, I was like, dang. Like Triple H used to be the cool guy. He used to run NXT. He was the savior of the product. And now that he's running the show, everybody's turned on him. It's like Adam Silver. When David Stern, God rest his soul, used to come out, the commissioner gets booed and the deputy commissioner gets cheered, and it's like, cool. Now that Adam Silver's the commissioner, now it's just tradition. Well, we got to boo you now. Now we're gonna cheer for the new deputy commissioner. I forgot the guy's name, but now he gets cheered and Adam Silver gets booed just off tradition. Now Adam Silver's a really nice guy. He's hard to people like. They don't boo him. Like David Stern was a lawyer, like he was a businessman. He was like, I got to take the NBA to the world. But it's different. He knows how to navigate through it because he understands, like, I get it. He's a nice guy. Versus Triple H, I'm like, well, you've been here already. You were the saving grace of WWE at one point, especially with NXT. My argument to Jonathan in our episode of the Wrestling Realm. But I'm like, now people don't have the patience for what you're trying to do now because it's like it's overexposure. You're not responsible for one show a week. You're responsible for the entire product. So that was just my initial thoughts when I came when I was like, look, Triple H, I hope you're not surprised. Luckily, he has thick skin. He's not bothered by it. Triple H is going to rise to the occasion. He's always up for a challenge. Triple H never seems to falter. Like, oh man,
Right.
what am I going to do? He's going to say, okay, all right, because he will listen to a degree, but he's going to like really stick it to us. We're going to be like, dang, we was down Triple H. He just gave us this moment. Because, like we talked about before, he does not mind sacrificing all these other moments for the bigger picture. He's like, I appreciate you, John, but this is not WrestleMania. Because if it was going to end on anything, you could have had his retirement tour at all the way into WrestleMania. There's a reason to end it right now. They like, look, man, we got to end this so we can get back to what the bigger picture is. So I just don't think that, I don't think Triple H was bothered by it, but I was not surprised though. I mean, this is John Cena. People are emotionally attached to John Cena. Like he's still with us. He didn't go away. He didn't go to another company and come back and gone 5 years, sign a new contract. He's the representation of a lot of people's childhoods and reasons they enjoy pro wrestling. And you put all them under one roof and all them in the streets and stuff like that. And what you think was going to happen? So that's just that was my take. How about you, Brian H?
I mean, I laughed. I thought
We
it
know
was
you
funny.
laugh. You know why? Because you're a heel.
I told y'all.
I'm getting all the Hollywoods in for 2025 is over with.
It's like I told y'all. When the boos happen, I said, now look, I said for once I agree with the decision he made, maybe. Because I understood the tap out.
Why you gotta be like that, bro?
What? I mean,
You can't just give him his credit, man.
No.
What? For what? No.
It's full blown credit. Hey, I can kind of agree with him, maybe.
I agree with the tap out. Would I have liked to
That was
see him
spot on, by
pass
the way.
out? Sure. Right. Would I have liked to see 6 power bombs into a pinfall? Sure. But the meme was everything. The tap out, they had that meme ready. They loaded it up if they redid it in 4K.
Yeah.
So they knew, okay, John, you're gonna smile. And it's funny because you look at it, it's like, did Gunther force him to smile? Because he was just like, ugh. It just forced his hand up. But overall, man, I thought it was great. And I thought, it's great for the WWE Universe to express themselves. Now, I want to see how it happens, what happens move forward, because unfortunately for a lot of people, they'll say that the Triple H, you effed up, you messed up, you dropped the ball, and this person carrying cross, and then it's crickets.
Yeah.
Now, how do y'all feel about Triple H being at the forefront of the company? And what I mean by that is, I've seen, like, via the socials or whatnot, there's a lot of fans, a lot of journalists saying, look, Triple H is literally in everything. It's too much Triple H in the product. For example, Unreal. Some people are saying Unreal is basically Triple H's show. It's a show about Triple H.
A little bit.
Or Triple H, like you said, Triple H walking out, he's being the first one coming out. Why did he have to be the first one coming out? You see what I'm saying? Like, his face is plastered everywhere. The WrestleMania promos, commercials.
Yep.
Triple H is all over it. So how do you feel about it? Do y'all feel like it's too much Triple H? Like, he needs to dial it back a little bit?
Not at all. Think about it. To me, go ahead, Brian H. Because we know how you feel about Triple H in this moment.
No, I was going to honestly say, as somebody who's critical of the booking, I like heel Triple H or authority figure Triple H.
See that? There you go again.
It's not enough for me,
tonight, bro.
No, what you mean? Like, I like authority figure. What? What I do?
He's not an authority figure.
But I'm saying what I like.
I know, but the first nice thing you said about what you like about Triple H was his heel authority persona. Like, what are you saying?
I like it when Triple H being at the forefront. It makes sense to me. You know what I mean? Because if I just want to see him be an authority figure. I want to see him be heel. Call me Mr. Levesque.
I hear.
That would piss people off. You kidding me?
Yeah, call me Mr. Levesque. Lean into it because I mean, in all honesty, it's like we know who you are, we know what you do. Yeah, come out there. It is it's one of those things. Is again, I may disagree with a lot of the booking and stuff or some of the nuances, but I'm going to appreciate Triple H while he's here, and because eventually
it could get worse.
It could be, and So it just makes sense. It is a tie to our childhood. When you do hear him come out there and do the "Are you ready's" or or just I got one thing to say, it does take you back a little bit. So I always think there's a room for a major authority figure or a major over. I guess say for the sake of this conversation, overseer in pro wrestling, right?
Well, that's what
to know.
That's what the what do you call those guys? The officials are for.
Yeah, but like to know that Adam Pearce and Nick Aldis have a boss. I love that. You know what I mean? Because I know, like, we didn't get that. Like, we didn't really get that. We didn't get that with Jack Tunney. And learning now is because, like, Vince did him a solid. All right, cool. I need to get close to that Canadian territory. So, Jack, you got a job. And then Vince gets close to the Canadian territory.
For now.
Then Jack Tunney decides he wants to side with somebody who's speaking against pro wrestling. Okay, now I done got your connects. Yeah, you helped me book that WrestleMania 6 deal, buddy. But now I done got it. It's time for you to go. Bring on Gorilla Monsoon. Now, I may not like Gorilla Monsoon, but that was my daddy's guy. And Gorilla's the boss. And Gorilla commands, he has this aura where Tony Schiavone said, he didn't get... you got to hear him say it because I can't do it justice. He said, he didn't give a fuck. But it's said it's such a Schiavone...
No, I heard he was a tough guy. Who was the other one?
Yeah,
it was Gorilla Monsoon and somebody else. That were
but that's the thing, because he knew you... He was a very nice guy, but he was tough. He was direct, and he didn't care because he knew at the end of the day you wasn't gonna beat him. You wasn't gonna take him down, because he was Gorilla. So
he was. I heard about his younger years. Like he was feared. Like he was one of like McMahon Senior's like executive goons.
That's why I think Junior Vincent Kennedy didn't like him. He couldn't. He ain't like him, but
he's like, man, I can't be in charge of this dude's in a way. He's too much of a Godfather OG.
Bingo.
Type. Yeah.
Bingo.
Especially while his father was still around. Like, that Junior's got to come, but if he gets out of hand.
Mm-hmm. And that was the thing about Gorilla, where there was still no authority figure. He was the ultimate. He was the Raiden, right?
Yeah.
So now, when Vince McMahon comes in, okay, cool. But then when Vince says, I'm $1 back, Stephanie, Shane, y'all in charge, y'all put y'all people. We all knew it ended with Vince.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Right.
During that mid 2010s period, or late 2010s, I should say. So I'm fine with this. I'm excited about it. Man, come on, man. Give me more Triple H. Ain't too much Triple H, brother Hugh.
Okay.
Give me more Triple H.
I'm with it.
I like the character. I like
just give Sean the book.
Let's say. I like Booker Triple H the character. Like, to me, it's an evolution of his his persona. Like, we've had so many different versions of Triple H, but like, to me, it's still it's nostalgia.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Shawn Michaels move happened yesterday. Did y'all see it? NXT.
You said who?
I know it.
No, I
Did y'all
missed
see
it.
what happened on NXT last night?
You talking about the botch?
I don't like that word. But
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah. Wait. Well, okay, hold on. So now you don't like the word botch now? Like, what's
Never
going
did.
on?
Never did.
Says the guy that used to watch them 30-minute Botchmania
Right.
compilations.
Yeah, because
on now.
wrestling's not supposed to be perfect. Things happen.
Okay, well, clearly.
And what I loved the most was the first lesson you get when you become a referee. You count 2, 3.
Amen.
And I love the fact that's on Blake Monroe. Actually, the technically it's not, because you really, it's between the two ladies.
Okay.
Because did Thea hit her too hard, or did Blake just get accidentally caught in the wrong position where it knocked the wind out of her? Because she literally couldn't kick out.
Oh, okay. Come on, Mariah May, get it together.
Hey, that's a conversation, because I was just saying earlier today, Mariah May don't have what Jordan Grace has or Roxy has.
Yeah.
With all due respect, it's kind of got to be a little reset, because they came in from here and they kept going. Mariah May came in, all this aura, she's not looking like the person who was the number 2, 3 wrestler in AEW 18 months ago.
So I'll raise you one. So are you telling me what your boy Booker Shawn Michaels, was that whole angle done on purpose? Was it meant to look like a botch to create what we're talking about right now?
See, and that's what I was thinking.
If that's,
you went right there. That's why I love doing this, because you threw me the alley oop and I dunked it just like the New York Knicks yesterday, winning the cup.
Because
I didn't.
No, I'm like Wemby, baby. Did y'all see that?
Yeah.
Did y'all see the alley oop when he just caught it and he just threw it? I was like, oh, he gonna be unreal. We got a deal. Like, they lost yesterday, but they went over in that loss. The San Antonio Spurs went over. Everybody was like, uh-oh, Wimpy is coming.
Yeah,
Olympics in trouble.
Yeah, but kind of. I wasn't as familiar with the stuff you're saying about Blake Monroe. Like, so if she's already not looking like, maybe we moved too fast. It's like, well, shoot, you don't want to bury her by having her lose right away. It's like, okay, cool. Let's create. Are they really doing this? I mean, they could be. Like, are they really like, okay, here's what we'll do. We're going to make it seem like it was a botch, and then we can build around that. Like, are they creative? Are they really going that far creatively to say, hey, look, this is how we're going to do it? Because we know people are watching, going to be like, wait a minute, it was a botch. And we're going to play off the fact that we know fans are going to say that. Are we really going that deep right now in NXT? Is this what Shawn Michaels is doing?
Yes. Nothing's off limits nowadays, bro. If you got Seth Rollins on the main roster faking a whole injury, bro, nothing's off limits.
It was a shock on a Tuesday night to give you a title change on the same night you're going against the Cup. You got to draw ratings for the CW.
I definitely watched the Prime video.
Genius.
Okay. So you're calling kayfabe. That's what you're saying.
Bingo.
Okay. What about you, brother? You see it this way? I mean,
I actually miss NXT, but that was the one highlight that I saw.
Everybody talked about it because I didn't see it. That's what I'm saying. I didn't see it either, and I was like, okay, but it went everywhere, and I was like, and I purposely didn't watch it because I don't like watching cringe TV.
Yeah.
And because I've learned that it's a thing called secondhand embarrassment. I didn't know that. so I was like, I don't like secondhand. I'm like, ooh, I'm not touching this. But now Brian H just kind of proposed, like, yo, maybe this is done to kind of send waves to kind of like,
I mean,
we do hijinks.
It makes sense.
Week. Yeah, I mean,
it does make sense if you think about it that way. Yeah, it does make sense.
So for whoever beats her, it's like it's better to beat Thea Hale rather than like we don't want to bury Blake Monroe or we don't want to just So like we could explain this. So when she loses, she's gonna say, well, you were never supposed to have it anyway, and no one's gonna look at her like, oh well, especially if it's somebody heavy duty. I don't know.
Because Blake Monroe, and think about how she got the belt. She didn't even beat Sol Ruka. She beat Daria because Sol Ruka was hurt. That's genius. That's protecting your talent 2 times in a row.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
They're protecting their women in this division.
I don't know
Hollywood thinking.
I'm telling you, man.
That's an intelligent brother right there.
It's the end of 2025, man. He's letting it rip.
Hey, they took the wisdom tooth, but they ain't take the wisdom.
Wow,
that was cute.
Nah, my sister was telling me about like the reason why they be trying to take the wise and the wisdom. So yeah, they said. See, that was the thing.
I wish I had a cricket sound effects, but I don't have one.
But see, Jermaine, here's the thing. That's exactly what I was thinking about. They keep saying it's a botch. Future TV tape is the whole town. Helltown will give a break. They trying to make sure now it's like we can't keep talent. Now talent got to stay longer until everything is done. Again, also, why is that any of our business?
Right.
That too.
So they got to change things, and I think again, anytime you can shock people, you can have a controversial ending. Yeah, we good. Yeah, that wasn't no botch.
Wow. Well, there you go. Apparently, Brian H has decided that was not a botch. We have all been worked by Shawn Michaels.
I had one more question about Cena before we roll out.
But yeah, by all means, let it rip. This is it, man. This is it for 2025. You might as well let it swing.
All right. There was a lot of people saying, look, why didn't Cena have a speech? Why didn't he have his moment in the ring? Do you feel like that should have happened? Because personally, I'm good with what happened.
That man did 80,000.
He didn't really need it. That's what the Hall of Fame is for.
He's coming back. Like he signed a 5-year deal. It's not like an 2-year extension. Like he's gonna be here. He's gonna be here for a while. And I think that's probably, to me, the reason why he did. Like, well, it's no need to do. I'm not saying goodbye to you all. I'm just saying I'm done in the ring. And I think they were trying to separate the two. Like, hey, look, let's not make it seem like I'm gone forever. Nah, I'm going to really be doing what I've been doing. I'm just not. It's not going to lead to a match this time.
Hey, makes sense.
You know.
Makes sense. I'm just trying to touch all the points for the fans out there.
Yeah, this is what the
You know what I
wrestling
mean?
realm was there. We're here to educate. We're here to let the people know what's going on and to hey, step out yourself for a moment and look at things from a more
Make you
intelligent
think.
perspective. Not to say that you unintelligent if you don't, but sometimes pro wrestling can operate in a different space where it's not always
Yeah.
privy to us fans just from watching it. So it's good to we have these conversations like you said, brother Hugh, and try to give people a different perspective on things. Give them a chance to look at things slightly different than how they may have been seeing it or feeling it or whatever the case may be. So,
Hmm.
in true wrestling room fashion, that's what we do. We're here to educate the people. Superior wrestling intellect. Whew, brothers, I think we did it. Is that everything? Did we cover all the bases for what the heck we have going on? This is
I
it, man.
mean, there's nothing else going on, but besides what Austin Theory, that's it.
Yeah,
Bald Theory.
Well, we were supposed to get on that earlier. But like I said, man, the conversation about video games just every week it just keep getting better and better. But
Right.
we'll have plenty of time to kind of discuss Austin Theory, and because they made us wait, they can wait for us to give our opinions about the situation.
Absolutely.
But yep, he comes back bald head. Paul Heyman, I'm telling you, he loves to surround himself with young talent. Like that's how he secures himself a job. Like, okay, cool, you're getting old, let's find the next you. But
Yep.
yeah, man, I think we did it. I think if there's no fitting way for us to end 2025 than the way that we did. I think we did it justice. We want to first and foremost thank everybody who been rocking with us for as long as they've been rocking with us and listening and downloading and engaging with in the conversation when it comes to this pro wrestling stuff in the wrestling realm. We truly appreciate all the support, all the contributions. Shout out to all of our other brothers and sisters in this field as well, who are going strong, doing amazing things in this content creation space. We definitely want to encourage everybody to continue to keep going, even when the days are dark. There's light up ahead. Continue to do what you're doing. Have fun doing it. Never forget that somebody's always watching. Somebody's situation is always worse than yours. But if you can take the moment to have a conversation about something as special as pro wrestling, just as we do each and every week, you'd be surprised, whose day you can brighten up. So like I said, we want to thank everybody for just being with us up to this point. 2026, like I said at the top of the show, is our 15th anniversary year. We're going to have a lot of fun celebrating, just like we did at our 10th anniversary. But we are going to have a lot of fun celebrating 15 years of the wrestling realm. There will be some serious programming changes. There'll be a lot to come. There's some things that we haven't been able to do that we're excited to get involved in. Like I said, there's projects on the way. I hate to keep saying it over and over again, but it doesn't mean it's any less true. As long as we've been doing this, we're just scratching the surface. There's still so much that we want to do. There's still so much for us to accomplish, but we appreciate you going along for the ride. So we hope that you've enjoyed this time with us. We hope that you've had fun with us throughout all of these things, man. We know we definitely have had fun, and we appreciate the time that you've spent with us as we try to wind down this year and get back on track and get things moving forward. So with that being said, I want to wish everybody a happy holidays, a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, all that good jazz. The Wrestling Room is officially signing off for 2025. The next time you see us collectively, the Wrestling Room will always be in different spaces and different things. Like I said, Brian H may or may not do a show. You'll still see content. The content will still come. But as far as the Wrestling Room Now podcast, we will not return until 2026, man. We have so much more we want to do, so much more we want to expand into. Like I said, it's not just the show anymore. It's a bigger brand, and we're in the content creation space. So it's been fun. Before we wrap this up, please follow us on all of our social media platforms at Wrestling Realm. Subscribe to our Patreon, our Twitch, and our YouTube at The Wrestling Realm. Follow Championship Culture on Instagram at Championship Culture _ And I believe that is it. So, as usual, wrestling fans, stay wrestling fans. Stay focused, stay safe, enjoy yourself, and we will see you all in 2026. It's been a pleasure. We out of here.
Peace, Gumps.
Peace.
Houston, we have a problem.
additional exclusive shows and bonus material, subscribe to our Patreon channel at patreon.com/thewrestling_realm. You can watch all of our Wrestling Realm content anytime on youtube.com/thewrestlingrealm.